Alright, the next problem says find the product. And when we're finding the product of any of our scientific notation, it's actually just easiest to do this on your calculator. So let me show you what you need to do. Most of your answers are going to be given to you in scientific notation. So go ahead and turn your mode on your calculator. So you're going to hit this button right here, mode. You're going to turn your mode to scientific. So right here it's flashing normal. I need it to go over here to scientific. So you need to hit enter on that. I know I'm a little zoomed out, but I did hit enter to make that highlight go over to the scientific. Now you can hit second mode again to get out of that window. So anything we put into the calculator now is going to come back in scientific notation. So that E right there is standing for your exponent. So we would write, well, let's do one a little bit better than that. How about 5? We would write 5 times 10 to the 0 for that. So let's go ahead and put in, for number 17, let's put in exactly as we see it. We want to multiply these two together. So we're going to start with our parentheses. So our parentheses are right here. We're going to put in the 1.2. And then we're going to use our normal times, 10, and raise that with your caret key right here to the 7th power. End your parentheses, and then start a new one. You can put a times in between if you want, but it's not necessary. Two parentheses by each other automatically mean multiplication. Now I'm going to put in my second one right here. That's 4.9 times 10 to the negative 1. So 4.9, use your times key again, 10 to the negative 1. So that's our caret key again. And then go down and say negative 1. End your parentheses and hit enter. And it's telling us everything we need there. So to write this one, we're going to say 5.88 times 10. And the E stands for exponent. So on that 10, we're going to put an exponent of 6. And we're done. If you ever do, you can round that to 2 places if it ever gets too long. So if it was 5.824, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, go ahead and round that. Let's go to our next one. This one says quotient. So quotient means divide, but also we can see this is a division problem. Now this one doesn't have parentheses, but the top always goes together and the bottom always goes together. So make sure even when it doesn't write parentheses, you write them for it. So in our calculator, we're going to start that with parentheses. 9.3 times 10 to the 7th. End our parentheses. Then hit the divide key, the normal divide right here. Start a new set of parentheses. And now we're putting in the denominator right there. 3.1 times 10 to the 3rd. Make sure you always close your parentheses when you start them. And then hit enter. And that's giving us 3E4. So that way we would write it 3 times 10 to the 4th. That looks funny though because we usually have a decimal point there. So if you would, you can write it like this instead so it looks a little bit better. 3.0 times 10 to the 4th. But that is up to you. And our last question here just says simplify, so we need to square this. So we're still going to use our calculator for it. We're going to put our parentheses, like always. We're going to write this exactly as we see it. 1.5 times 10 to the 3rd in parentheses. And then we need a square. You've got 2 ways you can do a squared. You can raise it with your caret key to 2. Or you've got this handy square key right here. So if it was to the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th, you need to use the caret key. But when you just want to square it, you've got this handy one right there. That just makes it look a little nicer up on the screen. But it's the same thing. So you hit enter, and there we go. 2.25 times 10 to the 6. So 2.25 times 10 to the 6. And there we go. That's all we needed.